I'm Colorful Foresight, and this is Shari H from Voices from Swamp. So we've both been into the unseen and seen for a long, long time, but we're fairly new at reading in public. So today, by the way, I'm gonna put in links in the description below of her YouTube channel, and also the link that we just did just earlier of us two together. I earlier had a bunch of questions here, and it's for 2023, Cherry.
Okay.
So I had like 3 medium questions, I just random stuff. So I picked 6 while I was waiting for you. So I don't even know what they are. And we're just gonna go with our intuition and with our card, but it's for 2023. The New Year's is coming about.
Yeah, it's almost here.
So the first question is, I'm putting the timer on. How will the unification between Democrat and Republicans show up in 2023 and beyond? So let's see what the card says. I'm getting it's already happening. We're starting to see it. Like when you look at Liz Cheney and those type, the more that the former president of the USA, number 44, keep going wild, getting chaotic with his posts and stuff like that. People are starting to see, okay, maybe we gotta work it. We gotta like figure something out. It's actually by force, but who cares? Long people start work. I think we're just tired. Like after fighting for so long, like it was just like, it's not like we are trying, but your brain is restructured. Like we're not getting anywhere. So it's kind of like you beating something up and then you're like, all right, I'm going to try and listen and blend. But I feel most of it's going to be help from the universe. The universe is actually helping the planet to have and by 2024, you'll start seeing that even more. It's going to be more calmer. 2023 is a little, so what do you think, Shari?
No, I agree. The cards I pulled are, I pulled the 5 of Pentacles, the 7 of Cups reversed, and the Fool reversed. So I think that right now people are still in kind of the mindset that everything's at a loss, everything's going down the toilet. It'll never get better, it'll never get fixed. But as choices and opportunities open up, there'll be a feeling of people will feel anxious because they'll be overwhelmed by the choices that open up for them. They'll question the choices that are opened up for them, thinking that they're lies when they're not. And I mean, when I ended out here with the Fool reversed, people are going to feel hesitant to step forward and do something. And it's not until we just slowly got to keep healing in order to step forward and to go into what could be future timelines, future opportunities. And I think that that's just going to take time. 2023, I've always felt, is going to be a very, a still chaotic year, simply because people are trying to reset. The last 2 years have been trying to kind of get past that initial shock of what all has happened in the last 6-7 years. And now we're finally starting to heal from that, but now we need to reset. It's time to hit refresh and let a new page load so that we can keep going. And that, again, is going to take time. There's not a whole lot we can do about that, but just like with anything, time heals all wounds. So it's just going to be a matter of giving it time and being willing to step out and do something. I think it's our job to continue to shine the light and talk about the positive that's going to come from all of this.
Oh, okay. Here's question 2. This is a mediumship. This is a bonus. We're gonna ask for, did any message that the first president of the United States, George Washington, want to tell us about 2023? Ooh, let's go with that. The first card that popped out was the Queen of Cups.
I haven't really even pulled any cards yet, but I'm feeling very strongly that he's been very dismayed at where we've been, because the way the country was, the direction the country was going in under the former guy was what he fought a war against to get away from. And I feel like he feels encouraged. That's the word. He feels encouraged by the direction we're going in now. But that there are still things that need to be dealt with that will be unpleasant. But just as in war, you have to do what you have to do in order to do the right thing.
It's people walking away from what they thought. He's saying people walking away what they thought they want, and they're seeing new things. I feel like they're seeing new things that maybe they haven't thought of. And part of it is having to see what is. It's the reality check. You're saying like, and like 20, 21, 22, 23, 22, but 2023, the reality check. It's like, oh my God. I mean, he doesn't talk like that, George Washington, but that's the feeling he's getting, the reality check. He's very stern, the reality check, the 2023.
Yeah, because we can't go forward until we deal with what's happened.
Yeah, too many people still naive to it. Even though it's been shown to our faith, they really didn't see that.
Yeah.
Because, if you think about January 6th and things on the news, they've been kind of hinting what's going on. But because everybody lives in their own world. So he had faith. He said, have faith. Okay. Question 3 for 2023, another mediumship. And it's from Jesus of Nazareth for 2023. Jesus of Nazareth. Okay.
Well, I've been told that I'm allowed to channel him.
You allowed?
I had a reading from someone who channels Master Jesus as one of the people that he channels. And in the middle of the reading, he stopped and he said, they're telling me you don't need me. You can channel them yourself. I've not done that yet. So there's a first time for everything.
Well, I think you've been told, you told me before, you've been told you have that ability.
Yeah, it just hasn't really come out yet. It's like I get little snippets here and there. Like a minute ago with George Washington, I was shuffling the cards when it just suddenly I heard him telling me. That's never really happened before, so it was kind of like
yeah. I believe it. I mean, sometimes people don't need the cards. The cards is just a tool. So what do you hear from Jesus? Let's explore. For 2023, what message he has for us, for the collective?
I think the biggest thing that he wants us to realize and to take to heart is to love one another. That's what he was all about, was love. I mean, he was the first hippie. He was the first equal rights proponent. He treated the other as just as important as himself, which back then was unheard of. I feel like, well, he's been very disappointed in how things have been going. He feels here comes that word again, encouraged. I don't know if that's George bopping his way back in or what, but he feels encouraged that the majority of the country is shifting. We're shifting. We're going back in the direction that we're supposed to be going in. We're like resetting our timeline, getting back on our timeline of where we're supposed to go. We're like resetting the Avengers. When they went back to go get the stones, they did the time travel thing, and the Hulk was talking to the master, the lady, and it was taking the time stone out, and she was like, if you do this, then if it opens another timeline, which, and he was like, but if we do it and return it back at the same moment, then that timeline never exists.
Very interesting.
Is how they explained it in the movie, which was, granted, that was a movie. But when you ask that, that's the picture I saw in my head, was the Hulk saying, well, but if we do this and we do it right and we return it back where it goes, we shift ourselves back into the right direction, that bad timeline disappears and we're back on track again.
No, I like hearing that. I could see, like, if you're going to have spirit talking to us, they would be encouraged, all across the board. That to me, it's good.
The Avengers, when they went back to go get the stones, they did the time travel thing, and the Hulk was talking to the master, the lady, and it was taking the time stone out, and she was like, if you do this, then if it opens another timeline, which, and he was like, but if we do it and return it back at the same moment, then that timeline never exists.
Very interesting.
Is how they explained it in the movie, which was, granted, that was a movie. But when you ask that, that's the picture I saw in my head, was the Hulk saying, well, but if we do this and we do it right and we return it back where it goes, we shift ourselves back into the right direction, that bad timeline disappears and we're back on track again.
No, I get Jesus telling me that regardless of all the unseen that's showing up, especially if you're for Jesus, utilize him and be the boss in your life. Don't let those fears and the stuff that's happening in 2023, because we're talking context of current events, not really personal. And keep going with what you want to see and said. You mentioned about that love bit. Because the card of like 3 of Cups, those are people unifying again. In the beginning, what's interesting, where the first question's about unification between Democrat and Republican, even if it's a little bit, or it's a reality check, that little, it's shifting back to that timeline you mentioned, So I'm glad that the two guys in the other world are feeling encouraged. I'm all for that.
This one was the 9 of Swords, which is anxiety, nightmares, depression, hopelessness, trauma, despair. That's where we've been. And then the next one I pulled was the Queen of Wands, courage, confidence, independence. That's the direction we're supposed to be going in.
Confident. Yeah. We haven't been feeling confident.
This is what was, and this is what will be.
Yay. Good. That is encouraging.
Yeah.